So today, I've got something a little different for you lot. So if you're familiar with my third channel, which I might have abandoned, you know that me and Doctor Who Tweets have a series where we react and review Doctor Who takes sent in by my audience and put them into a tier list. But considering we haven't done this for a long time, Ollie came to me with the idea of making a tier list for the 15th Doctor's era since it only recently finished. And since there's no chance in hell that I'll be able to get my reviews for the series done nearly as quickly as I did for series 14, I thought this would be a great video to hold you lot over for a while since my new job has really eaten up a lot of my free time to make videos, and I know many of you are interested in my thoughts on the series since I haven't really said much on it publicly. Just keep in mind that this video is completely unscripted, completely out of character, and I haven't rewatched any of series 15 yet. So my reviews are likely going to be very different to what I say today, but hopefully you enjoy this anyway. So, the church on Ruby Road.
Oh.
We will probably disagree on almost every single episode. I don't remember how much you f*** with this one.
You know, I just reckon all of these episodes are just going to end up in 5 out of 10 because we're not going to agree on any of them. They're just going to slap bang in the middle.
Probably, to be honest.
I'm not a massive fan of this.
I think I liked it the first time I watched it, but I was really drunk and it was Christmas Day.
Yeah, watching it on Christmas does give you a bit of jolly feeling whilst you're watching it, I suppose.
Yeah, it makes it more enjoyable, but then watching it with the hindsight of series 14 makes it so much worse because all of the shit that it sets up, you know, goes nowhere, so you just don't give a fuck.
I think there's actually, the thing is that annoys me about it, there's some good moments in it. When you look back on it, actually, it's probably the most potentially the most character-driven episode of 15's era, potentially. When you think about it, there was that stuff with, you get a lot of time with a family, I feel like you actually get to know Ruby in this. I remember the stuff where Ruby's are raised, I quite liked that. It feels stupid, but it feels the most RTD1 I think this era has got.
I know what you mean, but I think a lot of it derives from how derivative it is of Rose.
Yeah, you're probably right, yeah.
Because it's like the story structure is exactly the same, but without even like Rose. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I don't think Rose is a very good episode. Like, it's alright, it's not bad, but it's like the plot is kind of just nothing. But that's because it didn't need to be. It needed to just introduce like Rose and the Doctor.
I'd also agree on that in a sense that when I was growing up, I thought I was like some weird child, and I used to hate Rose for some reason, like the episode. I don't know why. Growing up, I like it more. We're talking about a different episode here, but I agree. Like Rose has a job for doing it, does it well. It's not necessarily an episode we'll throw on every week or in a mood to watch a normal episode. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say I see what you mean. This is very similar the way it's set up and what it does, but ultimately, it's very weird.
Yeah, I don't think that that Church on Ruby Road succeeds where Rose does, because the plot of Rose on its own is sort of like fine, but then the plot in the Church on Ruby Road, after it takes like 25 minutes or like 20 minutes or whatever it is to actually start moving, it's like these goblins feed off tomfoolery and goofiness so that they can eat babies, and then they go back in time and kill baby Ruby. And then the Doctor, like, cries about it for 10 minutes with Carla, even though he doesn't know who she is, and then saves her.
Yeah,
which he could have just
weird,
done.
Yeah,
he could have just done if he hadn't spent the last 5 minutes crying. But it's like, nah, I don't. Honestly, for me, this episode's probably like a 3 max.
The best thing is when stabs him right through the heart, the Goblin King.
Fucking hell, yeah.
That's a really good point for Space Babies I'm going to make in a bit. But, yeah,
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
I don't know if I'd go that low. I always see it as like a 5 out of 10, this one.
I think I had it on a 5 initially, but then after I reviewed it, like with hindsight of series 14, I was like, oh no. Since I'm saying 3 and you're saying 5, should we put it in the 3 one, but we'll say it's a 4?
Yeah, and just say 4, yeah, so like at the top of that tier, yeah.
Yeah, we like
that's
moving
fine,
ahead.
Mate. I'm fine with that.
Now we have the greatest episode of all time, which Series 15's finale entirely fucking hinders on for some reason. Because why did he do that? Like, why did he do that?
I don't know, and I still don't know why he even did this as an opener. This feels like an episode that would have been episode 6 in series 2 with Rose and 10, and I don't know why this is what you do. I know with context they initially planned Church Newry Road to be essentially the opener, because I think wasn't series 14 initially going to air in like Jan-Feb time or some shit.
It was, and got delayed.
I get it, but again, I see this as the same. This is to me, it's on the same level as Church Newry Road. It's fine. There's some good moments in there, but then the actual idea is just. Sometimes a Doctor Who, you go, that's a great idea. I wish the script was better and I wish it was executed better. For me, that's a terrible idea. I'm actually impressed that it even got put to television. That's the way I see this, because what is so interesting about talking babies? And why does Shooty say it like every 2 minutes? Why was he made to say it so many times?
Space babies! Space babies! Space babies! Space babies! Space babies! Space babies! Space baby! Space babies! Space babies! Space babies! Space babes! Space babies! Space babies!
And all the push the button stuff, watching back, is just so awkward.
It's so cringe.
And the bogeyman twist is again weird. That's the point I was gonna make. Like, he just casually off the Goblin King, presumably stabbed him through the heart, and then in this one he's like, "Oh, we must save everyone. I've got to save it. There's everything to save this thing." And it's like, so both of these creatures are trying to, presumably, I mean, context is different, but they were trying to go after babies. This time he just like, no, we have to save this one. We've just got to. I've just changed my mind now. I've got to show off to you, Rubes, because you're here this time.
You know what pissed us off the most about it? It was like we are 2 episodes into this new era and we're already rehashing. I'm the last of my kind. I have to save it because it's the only one of its kind. Damn. I've never seen that done 100 times before.
I wouldn't rate it that bad, but if you want to put it in 1 to 2, I'd be fine with that.
Thanks.
People that on it, I just go, okay, that's fine.
You knew exactly where I was gonna put it.
I don't think it's as bad as everyone says, because then I'll get, like, if I watch this and then I'll go back and watch Praxeus or something from the era before, it makes me go, Space Babies is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10. Nominated for awards. I
won't lie, I'm kind of with you also I don't think it's as bad as people make out. Like, when people say it's one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who ever made, I'm like, alright.
Nah, it's been a lot worse.
Yeah.
We're just gonna put it in for the content, really.
I think it goes so low down for me by the fact there is, like, little to no substance, and it's just, like, I hate to use the word, but it's so cringe.
It is a bit, it is a bit cringe, actually. Yeah, it can stay there.
It's like, it's so, I hate to sound like a fucking old man, but it's just so childish and juvenile. I'm like,
it is.
How did a man who was in his 60s write this shit?
This feels like a script written for the CBB show, but they were like, shit, that's been delayed by a few years. Can we use it for the main show?
You know, honestly, it gives off the vibe, because I'm like, the Sarah Jane Adventures wouldn't have done this.
No.
And that was like 4 kids. This is an episode that feels like it was exclusively made for toddlers, because I'm like, I could not see anyone above the age of, like, 7 finding anything in this episode funny.
But Russell's like, no, marvellous, we'll have it as the opener.
We'll open our new series of Doctor Who after finally re-getting the audience back after more than half a decade. We finally got them back. What is the first thing we will show them in our debut of this new series? Farting fucking spaceships. And aliens that look like those fucking those films with the cats and dogs from the 2000s.
When I first watched it, I think I gave this an 8 out of 10. I still like it, I still enjoy it, but it is probably objectively a bit shit. It's probably the weakest of the I think I'd call it the Pantheon trilogy now. Look, I mean, I'm on about like Giggle, Lux. Oh, and I suppose no, Sutek's not in the Pantheon. I don't know, it gets confusing. But out of like the Giggle, Lux, and Devil's Chord, like they're kind of playful episodes of the gods, and I think this is definitely the weakest one in my opinion. Now I look back on it, I think because Lux came out, I think it just makes this look worse, because Lux is just a better version of this.
Lux really highlighted what this episode like could have very easily been with a few tweaks.
Yeah, definitely. I think Maestro is a good villain. I like them. Fresh energy to the show. I think that's what they brought. I just think the concept, again, this is what I said earlier. It's one of those episodes where the concept is really good, but when you watch it back, it could have done so much more. To quote the 10th Doctor, you could have done quite a lot with that. I thought the ending was a bit naff as well.
Yeah, it's so underwhelming.
For me, now, if I had to put it in a tier, I'd slot it bang into the middle one. But it's not harmful, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think it's an episode anyone could really watch and like get really angry over, because you can have fun with it if you just switch it. I know people hate it when you say this, but if you just switch your brain off and watch it, but come on, like, we're all humans, we can do that if we want. Like, you have a few drinks and watch this, you'll have a good laugh.
I watched this episode like really stoned the first time. I had a great time.
Like, see what I mean? Yeah, it's one of them. It's not offensive.
Nah,
it's fine.
I'm in a somewhat similar boat, but with me being harsh and evil, I think
angry man.
The funny angry man. I think I would probably, I forget if I have this episode as like a 3 or a 4. But again, it's like, I don't think it's offensively bad. I just think, like, when you go through the episode, you notice it's very much hollow for the most part, because it's like the first 25 minutes, it's just the Doctor and Ruby sort of trying to figure out what's going on. And then when they do find out, he shows Ruby the future that's like fucked, with no emotional resonance, because Ruby doesn't have a character, which is insane to do in a scene like that. How you make it feel, like, how can you make the audience feel nothing in such an insane moment? And then after that, the Maestro very unsubtly just tells the Doctor how to defeat them, and then they go and have a lame-ass music battle, and then the Beatles coincidentally save the day, and there's like a cringe dance scene at the end. It's like, nothing really happens, but what does happen isn't very good. But also, I don't think it's like you said, I would never call this offensively bad. Like, I just think meh. But you could have just done so much more, especially with Jinx Monsoon's performance, which is just fucking fantastic. Like, I love it. It's just the perfect amount of camp for Russell Doctor Who specifically, because he can write camp really well and they perform it really well, but it just, shit kind of fucking sucks, unfortunately.
It's missed the landing, basically.
Yeah.
Jumped really high and then bottled it.
Yeah. Like, if there's a few tweaks literally just on, like, the ending, like, have the Doctor actually work out how to defeat them instead of just being told, because, bruh. And then, get rid of the musical number because it's cringe. But it could have been good. It could have been good. But it just ain't. It's just a bit shit.
Should we slot it in the middle?
I'll be willing to slot this one in the middle. Yeah.
There might be some worse incoming anyway. Yeah, it's an overrated piece of dog shit. No, it's
the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
It's a bit overrated. It's fine. It's fine. I don't really care about it. You know what I mean? It's just like it just exists.
I'm gonna have a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde moment, and I'm gonna start crashing out at this episode because it pisses me off. I think it's so shit. It's like, this episode is like one of the most perfect embodiments of everything that is wrong with Moffat as a writer, and like how he manages to trick people into thinking shit is good, and it's insane to me. Because I'm like, this episode, when you think about the plot for more than half a second, actually makes no fucking sense. Like, these fucking morons, right, have been going in a war against technology for 6 months. They have been killing themselves in circles for 6 months, and not once, despite the fact that they have scanners, did they scan the planet for life to see who they were fucking fighting. What do you mean? What the fuck?
Yeah, and that is something I agree with.
All of this in favour of, like, a capitalist bad and religion bad message. 2 messages that, in Series 10, were done a million times better without having to sacrifice the brains of everyone in the plot.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you keep cooking on this.
I don't want to go on it for too much longer, because that, like, 45-minute review or whatever the fuck it is, but the only thing this episode's good for is the way that the Doctor's written. And even he, because it's written by Moffat, the Doctor's written like a fucking moron at points. He just has, like, random funny one-liners and the occasional banging line.
Yeah, but all these bloody... Yeah, it's the thing that... And one of the things that... If it's still nitpicky, but constant references to...
Oh, God.
his own... I mean, everyone banging on about Twitter about Russell being obsessed with himself. Look at this. I mean, come on, it's like...
Moffat recycled the internet browser history joke for like 7 years straight, and no one stopped him.
I'll agree with everything you say. I'll see this as you can put this wherever you want because I don't really care about it. Like, the Devil's Chord I have a little attachment to, so if you put it in 3 to 4, I'll probably kill you. But this, do whatever you want. I don't care. To me, I see it on the same level as the Devil's Chord. It's fine. I'll probably give it like a 5, probably a 6 out of 10. It's just, I don't care. For everyone saying it's the best of this era, no, it's not. No, it is not. It's nowhere near close to the best of this era, but...
I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's so little to it that make it a good episode. Like, a shitty fake-out death. Never seen Moffat do that before.
Oh, that big man not in that. She don't even care. She's just died, and she's just like, oh, yay, I'll smile. Well, what do you mean? You've just died. Why do you not care?
Just no emotional resonance, nothing at all to get attached to. I'm like, I've just watched you fucking die, and you're coming back to life, and you're just like, oh, what happened? And then we'll move on, and it is never addressed again. The fact that the Doctor got his companion killed, like, are you taking the piss?
Yeah, we can keep it in that one, actually.
I think 73 yards is like, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
No.
I cannot stand 73 yards. Actually, no. You know what it is, right? 73 yards, like, in isolation, is good up until the time jump. Actually, no, it's not. Right, okay, I'll go through it bit by bit to, like, explain why I think it's so dog shit. So it starts off with an interesting mystery, and then the Doctor disappears. Ruby goes to the pub, which seems interesting at first, and then that just turns out to be bullshit, so it's like, alright, that was a waste of time. She then goes home, gets split off from her mom and that, blah blah blah, all the shit with Unit. Actually quite interesting. And then the time jump happens, and it turns into a random political drama with no interesting commentary other than man who wants to shoot off big weapon bad. Like, holy shit, I have been on Earth before, I'm not insane. I'm aware that those are bad things, Russell. Are you gonna tell us anything more? Are you gonna do something interesting? And then she gets him fucked off, and then there's another time jump to the end of the episode with Old Woman Ruby, which is like a nice little scene with the TARDIS, even though it's not believable because the connection between the Doctor and Ruby is shit and hasn't been established well, so there's nothing to really care about. And then the woman appears, becomes Ruby. She then goes back in time, warns past Ruby to not step, and then disappears, and then the episode just ends. And even now, the era is officially over. There was never an explanation on why the fuck any of that shit happened, because it is important in this grand, like, in this whole era. It is important because it's used for the finale in both series, but it's never addressed, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like the antithesis. That's about as good as it's gonna get. Of how to do, like, an ambiguous mystery, because it's like it gives us too many answers for it to not, like, it gives us too many answers for it to be satisfying without some answers, but then it clearly wants to be left in the way of, like, oh shit just happened sometimes, I don't know, but like, you can do that better. Russell's done that better.
So my take on all that is that fair enough, but I don't give a shit. I get what you're saying. I think how I see this is in the grand scheme of things. If you don't, I don't know how to describe it. If you don't like the mystery and it's not on the right level of mystery / answered / what's left as a question, then you're not gonna like it. But for me, when I first watched it, I thought it was a fantastic 9 out of 10. It's probably at an 8 now for me. It's fell off a little bit because I do agree with you. I feel like the base political stuff is so vague. The point where if you delved into that a little bit more, made it a bit more interesting, gave Roger William a bit more of a backstory, a bit more of a. It could have been. I think it would have been better, but I just watch it every time, and I'm just so in love with it. I don't know why. That's just the Ruby getting haunted by the woman, and I think we're gonna get into the fit. This is why I like it, because it brings so much conversation. Because I think what I take away from the episode is that Ruby obviously went into some sort of different reality, and from breaking that circle or whatever, it made her essentially live her long life fear of being alone, so everybody abandons her. And I just really love it. Just, to me, this adds something to Ruby and makes me care about Ruby a little more. I don't doesn't add anything to the connection with the Doctor, but Ruby as a character, it made me care a little bit more. This is the episode where I went, okay, if she died, I'd be a little upset, because I get what she means now, and she doesn't want to be alone. It added something to her. What I will quickly say is, though, I think why this episode's so tainted now is because the biggest part of it when I was watching it hurt me and, you know, pulled on the emotional strings is when Carla just left her and abandoned her and kicked her out. Seems as we've seen that happen, like, God knows how many times since. It's
I swear it's like
a
4,
little stain on it now, because it happens every episode, it feels like.
The thing is, in theory, I would agree with you, but the thing is, even within the episode's isolation, it doesn't really explore the fear of abandonment. It just sort of shows it. Like, it shows without Ruby's big fear is being abandoned by everyone for seemingly no reason, or no reason that she would ever know. But nothing about that informs her actions in the future, and it doesn't change her character in any way.
Yeah, and that's what I'd agree with. As a standalone thing, it works, but I think it bugs me. I agree, like, it makes me care about her, but it feels like I care about a different Ruby, because she never knew this happened after this.
Yeah, literally.
That makes sense.
It's like, it's all undone.
Yeah, it made me go, oh, okay, like, this is good, this adds something to her, and it still does, like, on a grand scheme of things. I remember this episode it's something I really like, but in the story arc sense, it's a bit weird, in a sense where it just doesn't do anything for her, really. I'd still give it an 8 out of 10. I don't know what you'd give it, but it's always going to be controversial and talked about, and I think that's what I also like it for, because I can talk about this forever. I don't know, I just love it.
I think we could put this one sort of in the middle, because I would give this episode like a fat 3. I think it and Boom are pretty like similar in issues.
We can throw it next to Devils then, I suppose.
We'll throw it next to Devils. We'll put it above Devils though. I do think it is better than the Devil's Chord. Okay, so despite what a bunch of white people on Twitter will tell you, I actually I do like this episode. I think it's...
Thank you.
I think it's... See, you now have the validation of a black person saying that they like the episode.
Yes, that's why I wanted you to go first.
You were like, please say it. Please say it.
Would have made it a very awkward video if not. Oh dear.
I do actually quite like Dot and Bubble. A lot of where it fails for me, like just some of the plot details don't really add up or make sense.
Yeah.
And the twist of the twist of them being racist, I also don't think works as well as it should, because some of the hints are like low-key kind of stupid. Like the one where she says, "Oh, I thought that you just looked the same," doesn't really work because she's talking to the same person who has not changed his appearance in any way since the last time he spoke to her, so it doesn't really make sense.
That's true, yeah.
But there's still like some of the good hints, like you see at the beginning, the blood's blue. Fuck, I'm forgetting all of them now. I haven't seen Series 14 in a while, but there is a few.
I'm gonna remember the hints now.
The way we got here could have been much better handled. While there is some genuinely great bits of foreshadowing throughout the story...
Is it something to do with you? Guys, I know this is wrong, and when this is over, he is going to be so disciplined. I can't wait.
There was this man, and he said there was a code. He was horrible. He was so rude.
But just give him a shot, okay? I think he's not as stupid as he looks.
Ricky September also, like I said before, acts exactly like the Doctor. But some of the hints in this story really do not work, unfortunately. And I think the main ones that are bad for this is the one at the beginning when the Doctor first shows up in the bubble. When Lindy does give a disgusted look when he appears, This doesn't work as a hint to racism, because the Doctor enters the bubble babbling on about creatures out there and that they're coming to get you, with huge text above him that says unsolicited request. Ignoring how contrived it is that this text never pops up again and never pops up for anyone else, it's very understandable that Lindy would block him here. I know this isn't something any of us would want to do, but if we put ourselves in her shoes here, every single adult watching this video has had a scam caller before, or a call off a wrong number, and they just babble on about fucking nonsense which you just ignore. So this hint doesn't really work. And the other hint that doesn't work is this line where Lindy says this.
I blocked you. Didn't I block you? I knew it. I did. I thought that you just looked the same, but you're...
While it is a racist sentiment to just imply that all black people look alike, trust me, I deal with this bullshit on a near day-to-day basis. This doesn't work because nothing about the Doctor's appearance actually changes. She's talking to the same person. This is the equivalent of saying that Richie Reviews looks like Tom Richardson. That wouldn't be a racist thing to say because Tom Richardson is my twin brother. Or another example, you could say that Doctor Who looks like the guy from Sex Education, which also wouldn't be racist because they're played by the same person. The idea's there, but the execution just ain't it. Like, maybe if the Doctor had, like, forgotten to take a wig off, he had different hair, he had different clothes, anything, but literally just talking to the same person and then saying that they look the same does not work as a hint towards racism.
It took me until... I'm not going to sit there and tell you, God, I knew it as soon as the episode opened. Like, if you did, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was God, I can't even remember this episode now. I noticed at one point, I think midway is when it started to click for me. And there wasn't even a hint. I think I just started to realise how many white people there were. And I thought, okay, this is getting a bit weird. I wonder if they're going to do like a race and twist and then boom, it's there.
I'm going to be honest, right? That hint, to me, did not sink in, ever.
What, so many white people?
Yeah, I didn't even notice. I mean, it's probably a bit different. We probably shouldn't delve too into the conversation because it might get a bit like...
Yeah.
But, like...
Yeah.
I am not white, so I don't really notice when people are white. Like, where I live, very few and far between who aren't white. So, like, the hint for me that, like, oh, everyone was white, I didn't notice. And it's why I do understand why some people are so bashful of the episode, because the way Russell was going on about it in the Unleashed was sort of like, you. But, like...
I can't even remember that.
I don't remember exactly what it was that he said, but it was something along the lines of, like, oh, like, if you didn't notice that everyone in this episode was white, then you really should have. And it was like...
Because they've seen white person after white person after white person. And television these days is very diverse. I wonder, will you be 10 minutes into it? Will you be 15? Will you be 20? Before you start to think everyone in this community is white. And if you don't think that, why didn't you?
Russell the Davies, do you want to tell me that do you want to try and imply that I am racist for not noticing that everyone in it's white? I don't know if that's an argument you're gonna win, old man. Nah, but... I mean, I do like the episode. I think for me, I have it sat at like a 5, just because a lot of the plot details are a bit like naff. And I mean, even as we're both sat here now, it is solidly like a good, fine story. It's kind of a forgettable episode though, because not a lot happens.
It sounds stupid, but what really carries it and what makes it so memorable is the ending.
Yeah.
Very cliche to say, but Shooty is absolutely peak in that final bit.
That's another point of why I actually like the episode so much. For series 14 at least, best 15th Doctor outing by like a country fucking mile. And he's barely even in the story.
Yeah, it's a shame, but he was really good at the end.
He was really good in the end, and almost all of his lines before and the way he acts and speaks is just like... It was the first time watching the series, or at least watching an episode by Russell in the series, where I was like, he actually feels like the Doctor. He doesn't just sort of feel like a bit of a caricature, he feels like the Doctor, like the wit, the authority, the rage, the ego, the like willingness and want to help people even despite his best interests and them treating him like shit. It's like, that is the Doctor, which you just don't get from any other like Russell penned episodes in the series, and it sucks. But like in Dot and Bubble, so good. So good. He's so well written in it. It's so perfectly performed.
I agree with everything you just said. I can't add anything else there.
Where would you want to put this?
My rating varies between a 7 and an 8.
Mm-hmm.
If you give it low, we can meet in the middle. The only reason I'm thinking we could put it in 7-8 for now is because it's the one we agree that we both like and is better than the others.
Yeah, I'm picking up your reasoning. This is the episode that me and Melissa agree on.
Yeah, now I agree with you both.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. This episode is so awful.
It is a bit shit, isn't it, actually?
I don't even want to go on like a rant on this episode because I would just rehash stuff that I've already said before in the review, but I think, honest to God, this is probably the hottest take of the video so far. Outside of Empire of Death, this is the worst episode of Series 14.
Yeah,
I would rather watch Space Babies than this.
Yeah.
I would honestly rather watch Space Babies, because at least Space Babies, like, it's so shit that, like, it's kind of impressive. Like, it's like, how did this even get made? This is so bad that it's, like, at least kind of funny.
When I first watched it, I was like, okay, this is, 7 out of 10. Everyone was raving on its best of the series. This is the most Doctor Who's felt like. I still hate the statement. This is the most Doctor Who has felt like this. It does my nut in because I don't know why. It just bugs me.
It bugs me when people use it, like, for shit that it really doesn't apply for.
Yeah, and it's like, what can you even class as the most Doctor? Do you know? It's just so weird. But as a Doctor episode, actually, it's a bit shit. I used to like it. I feel like I rewatched it. I've definitely rewatched it this year. I think 15 and Rogue have good chemistry. I'll still stand by that. But other than that, nothing really happens. The villains are fine. The reason it's probably the most Doctor episode ever is because it's a villain trope that we've seen used so many times.
That's the thing with it. That's why I find it so, like, insultingly fucking dull. It is just boring. Like, it is boring. It's like, all of the characters are characters that you've seen before and are done to death. Like, Rogue is just a shitty version of Jack, and then he's just a nothing entity for the second half. Like, Ruby has nothing going for her. The villains are dead. The setting is done to death. The mystery is not engaging. Like, there is nothing to enjoy in this episode.
Yeah, put it bottom tier.
Yeah, fuck this.
I've really changed my mind on this.
The Doctor's character writing in this episode is also, like at least the worst for Series 14. Series 15, I haven't rewatched any of the episodes yet, so I'm not 100% sure, but I remember when I was reviewing Series 14, I was like, this is the worst, like, Doctor outing character-wise we've had since, like, the 13th Doctor was the current Doctor. Like, him getting people killed because he was just being a fucking bitch for no reason, for a fake mystery that is also set up by literally just lying to the audience. He falls in love with a fucking murderous psychopath for hire. Doctor would not fall in love with someone like that. Like, come on to fuck. The shit just sucks, man. There's nothing good to it. It's so bad.
Well, are you talking about the next episodes or Rogue still?
I was talking about Rogue still, but the next episodes I do also agree with are so fucking bad. The Legend of Ruby Sunday is the most hollow, nothing waste of time of an episode to, like, possibly ever be made.
Right, so I'm going to shut up on this because I don't think Empire of Death is as bad as anyone thinks it is.
I'm just gonna...
But I do think... my hot take is that Legend of Ruby Sunday is worse than Empire of Death because...
Really?
Legend of Ruby Sunday... I just think Legend... I can't watch it... it's like watching it. You watch it just for the ending. Whenever I watch this episode, because nothing really happens. You don't learn anything. It's just them running around. Like, when you look at the finale, I know it's got the controversies of, like, the ending's underwhelming, it didn't make sense. Put that aside just 1 second, and nothing actually happens in this episode. It's not even a setup, because it's the set. At the end of the episode, we're in the same position as we were at the start. We learn nothing. We just run around unit for an hour, making the most of the set, and then call it a day when Sutek arrives.
It's the same with Wish World, really. Like, the episodes exist for the cliffhanger, not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's like, if you compare, like, either of those first part finales to something like Utopia, It's like you could watch Utopia in isolation, and it is a great episode of Doctor Who.
That's what I was about to make. Yeah, Legendary Sunday. I could not do it. It doesn't work. Empire of Death, as I said, I prefer because there's actually shit going on.
I mean, if I was gonna watch one of them, I would probably watch Empire of Death. I wouldn't say it's better though, because
that's my point. Yeah, Empire of Death though, it's fine. I'm a big defender of it because I don't think it's as shit as people say. Because I know we're not talking about it yet, but I think the finale It's Just Gone is literally 10 times worse. I genuinely really do.
Me too.
Empire of Death, it's literally fine. It doesn't, I don't know how to describe it, man. It's just fine. I think if you just look back on the finales we've recently had, it really is just fine. The Vanquishers, Jesus Christ. Timeless Children, Jesus Christ. Battle of Ascalon, Jesus Christ. Like, it's actually fine. I know the ending's a bit naff with the whistle and stuff.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Does he have a lead as well?
Oh my god, a fucking dog leash to defeat the god of death.
But
Oh.
I tell you what, it's better than the other finale because at least Ruby, the companion, does something.
Bruh,
The whole series.
I know we're jumping ahead a bit, but it is actually so funny that in the reality war they just fucking give up on Belinda and lock her in a box.
Just throw her in a box. That's what I mean. At least this is what I'm saying. It's
So
infinite,
funny,
but at
man.
least Ruby does something. At least she saves it. It's her story, and I know it's not the best ending to her story, but at least she's there for it. And like Belinda, they just lock away, just throw aside. But
Just
yeah,
fucking give up and put her in a box, man. Like, why did he do that?
like he was writing, he was, oh crap, man, we still got Belinda in this. I'll just throw her in a box. We'll sleep. We'll get her out at the end.
I don't know how true it is because, I mean, you know me, I don't go on Doctor Who Twitter except your account, and even then it's like I don't go on my own account enough to see a lot of it. I'd stay away from Doctor Who social media when there's a series coming out. I've heard a few people saying that Belinda was like a last minute write-in, and it really wouldn't surprise us with the way she was thrown out in the finale.
I don't know. There's been no confirmation. People just... The only thing that makes me iffy on it is the main reason people think that, and the main evidence they have, is when all those tabloids were saying she was sacked.
Yeah.
And the reason they were saying she was sacked is because like she didn't like the night shifts and she was getting grumpy and arsey and stuff like that. And that's the only reason I'm like, if you ask somebody why do you think that, they'll give you some good points, like Belinda's written like Ruby towards the end of the series and this and that. When you then go, okay, but what else? And they're like, oh, well, the tabloids said Millie Gibson was fired. And you're just like, oh, come on, like, what are you going on about? You're using sexist bloody articles to put your theory. No, not for me. So I just think it's just Russell being stupid, if you're honest.
I'm not 100% sure on it, to be honest. It was the fact that no one stood up to defend her when all the shit was going on. Like, that was so dodgy, how, like, no one said anything. Like, none of the producers, Russell didn't say anything, the BBC didn't make a statement, Disney didn't. Like, that was fucked
But
up.
I agree with that, but I might be remembering this wrong, but I do think when Millie was announced for the next series, they did make a comment about it. I think, I might be quoting myself, I'm fairly certain they did. Russell or is it Phil Collins? Somebody said something about it and referenced it and said it was all bullshit.
I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah,
could look
Russell was
into
saying
that.
something. Or was it? I swear Russell was saying something about how they couldn't comment on it for some reason in the moment. Oh, maybe I'm making it up. I don't know.
If he said that, that's such fucking bullshit, by the way. Like, the fuck do you
It
mean
probably
you
is.
can't step up and defend your actors? Of course you can.
They should have come out and said something.
Absolutely. I think Russell's so far gone at this point, like, he ain't even the same man anymore. He's been surrounded with yes men for too long.
But the finale, just leave it there.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna argue with it, and the thing is, I've argued with so many people, but that's just fine, man. Like, I do like the ending with Ruby and her mum. I find it quite sweet, and again, the thing that pisses me off, and I think what pisses people off, is that it's this idea of Russell and his content generation, and all of the hints towards, when you look back at it now, all of the hints towards Ruby's arc and what she was going to be. It was all for content.
Yeah.
And if they weren't there, I think this would have been a much better conclusion, because it would just, you wouldn't have these over-the-top snow forming and the scans not showing and all this and that. And I just think if none of that was there, you dumbed down a bit on that and just didn't make it as over the top. And because it was fair, we all thought she was going to be some sort of guard or a trap with this trickster, and it really does look like that. But if he didn't make it so over the top, I think people would be a lot more respectful of the episode as a whole in general, because I think people would go, okay, it's like me, okay, it's fine. But I think because you kind of bottled it and just prioritised it to make everyone on Twitter think she's something. And I do like, I like the commentary that Sutek is supposed to be us in a way that we get to in. Again, this is, okay, so I think what it's supposed to be is that Sutek is supposed to, again, it's stupid because it shouldn't be Sutek, but Sutek is supposed to be us as an audience getting attached to the companion and like theorising and over theorising when she's just normal. That's what they're trying to do, I'm pretty sure. What doesn't work is that you use Sutek, the god of death, as this representation for that. And also, you have genuinely edged us into thinking Ruby is something she's not, so it doesn't make any sense. It's a really good idea, the fact that it's commentary on the audience, but it just doesn't work. But as an episode, it's fine, but we're going to leave it in that bottom tier.
I think on your point before of it sort of being fine compared to the last couple ones, I would probably disagree, but also I can't because I haven't seen series 11 or 13 since they came out, and I haven't seen series 12 since I reviewed it. And like the Timeless, I would never say this is worse than Timeless Children, because like I know people hate the reality war. Timeless Children's still worse, but like I think the episode Empire of Death at least is such an egregious slap in the face, because it's like I don't like the commentary of just sort of being like, oh, Doctor Who fans overanalyze stuff. It's like, a lot of the audience does that because they care about the show and it's interesting and it's kind of fun. I don't see the point in just like having a filler episode and then being like, oh yeah, huge villains come back. It's not the huge villain, it's actually just, yeah, you're stupid for thinking about this too much, even though I put all of this shit in on purpose and self-admittedly like did it this way so people would talk about it. I think it's because he was so shameless about it is what made it like such a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Who is it's not innocent of doing this shit before. It's done it so many. I mean, Moffat did it every fucking year he was showrunner, except he did it in series 10 as well. He did it every single year he was fucking showrunner.
Oh, was that the Vault?
Yeah, the Vault, and then like
about that.
The Vault's just a dead one, to be fair, because at that point everyone
was
just
even
sort
more
of like,
underwhelming, actually. I think.
I don't think
it was messy.
I don't think it was more underwhelming. I think it was more so like, because I know a lot of people, not as much in the online space, but in real life, who dropped Doctor Who, like just during series 10, because they were just so sick of the way that Moffat was writing, and just like sick of the way that he tells his stories. It was like, it's the same thing over and over again. Really, it's like, ooh, this big change, such and such is gonna happen. No, it's not. But something might happen next series, so watch the next series. And it was just that over and over and over, and it just got like worse and worse and worse, and I was like, fuck this shit. I remember when I was watching series 10 when it was coming out, I was so like just bored with the show at the time. I was like, I just don't give a fuck, man. This was when I still liked series 10 at the time, but I was just bored by it. Joy to the World is embarrassing.
Yeah, put it in 1 to 2.
Would you really put it in 1 to 2?
Yeah, I think it's dog shit. When I look at those episodes, I think right, this is where like we're obviously compromising for the video, but me personally, Empire of Death is better than Joy to the World.
That is just fucking crazy.
Space Babies is better than Joy to the World. I don't like Joy to the World. What a dumbass ending.
Oh my god,
concept's fine, but it's just dog shit. Get rid of it. Oh, I don't like it. I watched it on Christmas Day, and I was with Melissa, and she was like, "Oh, I really like that one. It's much better than last year's." I was just looking at her and went, "What?" I thought that was dog shit. I was like, I don't think I like that at all.
I didn't.
I don't care about. I can't even remember her name. Oh, it's Joy. What a prick I am. I can't even remember Joy. I can't even. I don't even remember a thing about her. The most boring character to ever exist. Anita was good, but Tana, right? There is like, oh, she could become the new companion. She's absolutely fantastic, best one-off character.
She weren't all that.
The only reason I liked her so much is because I think Joy and Ruby are fundamentally the same person, and then you got this new like kind of dynamic with 15. Everybody's like, oh, this is amazing. She's decent. I would have liked, actually saying that I do actually like Anita, but I don't think she's like peak.
Yeah.
Like everyone says.
I think the reason that people gravitate to Anita so much, I'm similar with you. Like, I don't mind her. I think she's alright, but she's not all that. Like, she's okay. I think the reason people do is because when we're in the fucking dregs of the Chibnall era for 5 years,
Yeah,
like,
I know
there
what
is
you're gonna
like,
say,
yeah, it's like no side characters were memorable or likable except the dude from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was great, but like,
Jericho.
yeah, but like no other side characters were memorable or good. Which it's like, even as shit as the Moffat era is, and you know that I would like, I could go on about how the Moffat era is shit in 100 different ways for like the rest of time. It could still make like random one-off characters likable. The Chibnall era just couldn't, so it was like there was nothing to care about for so long because everyone was so uncompelling. But then even having someone who's just like fine, all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, best character.
This is amazing. Yeah.
I'll let you cook though, because I'm just agreeing with everything you're saying.
Joy to World is essentially my rage bait, where I didn't watch it when I first started it. I watched it the next day, and it might have been because I've just got back from work and like a 6-hour shift, maybe probably 8-hour shift on Boxing Day, so it probably helped. Actually, I don't know what works. Either way, I worked on Boxing Day, so I wasn't going to be in a good mood when I sat down to put this on. And then it just keeps getting worse in my mind. I think when I first watched it and I gave it a review, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. And I think even in my head I was I'm being generous. I actually don't like this, but I didn't want to be negative because everybody on Twitter loved it. But I just didn't like it, and I just, to this day, I don't like it. It's like, but it feels like 15's version of the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Like, it's not as bad as that, but it's like it has the same vibe, if that makes sense. I don't know why.
I know what you mean.
Them together.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think it's just sort of like the attempt at wholesome family shit is undermined by like, I don't give a fuck about these people, and also they're annoying.
Yes, spot on. I think that's it. You can throw that wherever you want. I don't care.
When I first watched it, I didn't think it was good, but I kind of liked it. But then again, I watched it Christmas, drunk, stoned, you know. But then when I thought about it more over time, I was like, that was kind of like just dog shit. Like, actually. Since you have given me the leeway of ripping the shit out of Boom and the Devil's... Not Boom. Not the Devil's Code either. 73 Yards.
Oh, mate, you can do it. There we go.
There we go. I'll go with you, but can we put this, like, here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it's like, I think it's shit. It is shit. But I think there is some things in it that are okay. Like, Moffat, from what I remember at least, Moffat writes the 15th Doctor, like, in a pretty, like... He's not just the 12th Doctor this time, like, he's actually just good.
I'll tell you what annoys me, though. The picture for it. Why is it red?
Why is it red? That pissed us off, because that
Why
fit...
is his jacket red?
The fit looks hard, and he didn't even wear it in the episode, man.
I think that also puts me off, because whenever somebody talks about it, I look at the picture, I'm just like, oh, God, what? That's horribly photoshopped. Somebody's played with the human Photoshop on that. What's gone on there?
No,
God,
literally.
get it off my screen. Rebel Revolution is an episode of Doctor Who that exists.
I'm surprised you said that, because I don't think we've actually talked about Series 15 once.
We haven't, not because we haven't. No, we have not. This will be interesting now.
We have not, because I just stay away from, like, the group chat when there's a series going on, because I'm like, alright, there's gonna be spoilers and there's gonna be leaks. Everyone's gonna know the leaks except me, so I'm just not gonna look. And I've barely been on my account in, like most of this year, to be honest. I'm kind of with you, though.
It's just an episode.
Yeah, it's like, it's fine.
Again, it was one of them, I watched it, and then everyone on Twitter was like, that was much better than Space Babies. I was like, it probably was better than Space Babies, but was it much better? I don't know. Like, it's just, again, it's one of those where the concept I don't really give a shit about.
I like how the bar is, oh, it was better than Space Babies. I'm like, that is literally, like, That's not saying a lot.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
It's like, oh,
Really?
cheers. It's better than like the cringy shit and fucking poo snot humour episode.
Poo
Mint.
fart, not monster. Yeah, mate. Cheers.
Aye.
But
Class.
again, in this episode, the bloody villain gets swept up by a robot sweeper thing because he turned into sperm.
That was. I mean,
Weird.
I haven't seen any of Series 15 since it came out, so this video is probably going to be quite funny to look back on once I review it, but I did think that was kind of funny.
It was funny, but then again, comparing it to Space Babies, on the last most species, you have to let everyone live. And then he's there kicking his foot in the air because it's got it, the sperm's got it. I can't do it. It's just so inconsistent.
It's so fucked, man. The morals of this era, they're so backwards. They make no sense.
So weird. It's so weird. Belinda's good. I like Belinda.
Yeah, I like Belinda. Like,
I like Belinda in this. She kicks the Doctor up the arse, and I think that's what he needed. Again, it's a bit stained now that we know that she's only like this for 3 episodes, but
yeah.
It works here, it works.
Belinda at the start of the
concept
series was
stars,
fucking like...
That's what I mean, she's fire, amazing, but she fell off massively. But this is
fell
one of
off
the best
so quick.
episodes. I wish we saw a bit more of her home life.
Yeah,
I feel like that's, again, what this era misses, just seeing the companions at home.
It's actually so fucked. Wasn't she like living in like a student accom in this episode?
Yeah, she was, but we only saw it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So not even that. I think it was 10 seconds. She got some out of a fridge and then she walked out. That was it.
Why the fuck did he write the finale that he rewrote the character's history so that she's a single mother?
It's not even the same Belinda, man.
It's not the same person.
I mourn for the first 3 episodes Belinda because it feels like she died in Lucky Day.
Me too, because I was so excited to have a companion with actual
I know.
conflict for the first time since Series 10.
The episode is like, oh, we go, robot kidnap me. Oh, there's a evil.
It was the 2 fuckers from that episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Oh, the Empty Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just repainted him.
Literally.
I don't really care about this, actually. I really don't.
Yeah,
This is not the only episode in this era I don't have any opinion on. I'm just like, even when I watched it, I was thinking, okay, it's just an episode, isn't it, really? I don't care. I don't know where you want to put it. Just put it wherever you want. I don't give a shit.
I'm kind of in like your boat of, especially since I haven't seen it again. It just sort of like, it was fine, whatever. It was like 5 or something, maybe like a 4.
Yeah, I'd probably go 5.
I think 5's fair, because like, I mean, it's way better than fucking Church and Boom.
The Belinda stuff's good. The Belinda stuff good, so I'd put it there, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say it's better than The Devil's Chord and 73 Yards, but this is like a mixed list, so where would you put it?
No, you're not fucking moving that. Don't you? You can put it above Devil's Chord.
Okay.
You're not putting it above 73 Yards. Otherwise, I will come to Newcastle and I'll have you. Oh my god! Don't you dare. Looks, yes, looks. Come on.
The episode
Bye,
that convinced me that we were back.
We are so back. Oh, I love looks.
I was like, holy shit, Russell has wrote an episode that is like good.
Peak. The character dynamics are spot on. The villain is cool. I don't care what everyone says about the fan scene. It works. I've always wanted something like that to happen, like a 4-4 break that actually makes sense, because it's not actually unexplained. It gets explained. How cool is that? We actually have a 4th wall break that actually gets explained. Isn't that mad? We took that for granted back in the day, you know, that 4th wall break getting explained. But it works. Mr. Ring-a-Ding is, I love it to bit. It's just so good. The dynamic is good. The mystery at the start of Miami. I hate the fact that it doesn't feel like a real location, though. I will say that. I don't know why. It might just be me, but it doesn't actually feel like I'm in America in this episode.
Nah.
Or is that just me? Like, location-wise, it feels like I'm in a studio.
Yeah,
the
it felt
whole
a bit.
thing.
It was filmed
It was a
on
bit
on location as well, wasn't
filmed,
it?
It was, yeah, which is why it was weird, because it literally felt like a studio.
I think
when
it's just
they're
the way
outside,
that this
like,
era
the thing in
looks.
Boom. Yeah.
Like, the era looks kind of like artificial.
That's the best way to put it. But the actual episode is fire. I love it. I still love it. It's probably the best from Shooty's era.
Ooh.
I adore it. I don't know why. Literally, I'd probably give it a 9 or a 10. It just works so well, and a god has a satisfying ending as well.
Yeah, the ending took us by surprise as well, because I'm like, this is so good, how is he gonna fuck it up? And then he didn't, and I was like,
I was like, here we go, this is it now. He's gonna get like the doctor's gonna get a pencil and gonna get a rubber and just rub him out or some shit. I was like, here we go. He's actually good. I was like, sound, we're actually doing it. We're doing an actual satisfying ending. I hope Twitter likes this because I'm liking it. For me, I'd put it 9 out of 10. I don't really, as long as it's in the top 2, I'm not fussed.
It's definitely in the top 2. I'd give it like a 7 personally.
You can put it above Dot and Bubble.
Yeah. To go over a few of my issues, because I agree with most of your praises, to be honest. I think the only things that drag it down for me were like, I think they rushed the fuck out of the Doctor and Belinda, her trust in him.
Yeah, I did that, yeah.
They did that quite quickly. The ending for me, it sort of worked in the way of like an RTD1 episode where it's like, it makes sense, it is built up to, but it's sort of like, oh, okay.
It's a god episode and the ending was alright, just take it, mate, don't complain.
Yeah, I mean, it was about as fucking good as it was gonna get, to be fair.
Exactly,
That's why it's like,
and walk away.
That's why I'm like, it's not the end of the world, because it's like, his endings were like that in his old era, where it's like, it makes sense, but it's like, you could have done something else, but also like, at this point, fucking hell. Give me 100 of those. I liked the fan scene. I did think it sort of went on a bit long, though.
It went on a little too long. That's what. Yeah, I'll agree with that. It went on a bit too long. I think that's my main negative. Where I think people are like, "I wish it was moved." I don't wish it was moved. I always wanted that scene to happen. It works. It's sweet. I like the fact it actually gives something to the plot in a sense where they encourage him to go and finish the episode. It's it's meta, but it works. It's not like we're just gonna have this scene and then he's just gonna go. I'm trying to think of an example. It's not like a passing by scene. Like it works the context of the episode and it adds to the ending. What I will say, you said Belinda and the Doctor's relationship rushed. I agree. What I will say though, it didn't come out of I knew it was gonna happen when in the diner scene he was talking to that lady, and it was a really good moment actually. I think he was like, I'm gonna get you some back, I promise you. Belinda looked at him in a way, and I could see it on her face that she was like, oh, so this guy saves people. You could see the realization on her face, and that's in the episode of the moment. I was like, oh, okay, so she's gonna warm up to him. And I was a little disappointed, but it didn't come from nowhere. Basically, it was a very small hint, but yeah, it's still a good episode. I mean, we're barely ranting about this one, so it's got to be at the top there. So.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it does have my favorite 15th Doctor line in. Which is quite funny to say, because I now, for the life of us, cannot think of the fucking line. But, you know, it's in the diner, or outside the diner, I think it was, where...
We are busy.
How can you say that?
I have toppled worlds. Sometimes I wait for people to topple the world. Until then, I live in it, and I shine.
I fucking love that line. That is a fantastic line. And it's such a good way for the Doctor to view, like... some Earth issues that like he can't address sort of in episodes set in the past, like racism.
That's a good line. I forgot about that. I was thinking of a different one.
That was one of me that was just sort of like, holy fucking shit, like that is a Doctor Who line if I've ever heard one. Like, holy fuck.
In conclusion, they cooked for this episode.
I think they could have done more, but for what we got, it was pretty fucking good. And I will take a 7 out of 10 as opposed to like yeah, man. There may be some disagreements on the well. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Ooh, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's like, oh my god, it's like 9 out of 10, man. Best episode of this era. Oh god, it was fantastic. It's essentially, I'd probably give it, I think I gave it an 8.5. I'd probably give it like an 8 or a 7.5 now. It's essentially just like a Midnight's brother, but like obviously it's Midnight's brother. It's like Midnight's like really annoying brother that thinks it's better than him, and it's not. It tries to be Midnight so much that I wish it wasn't trying to be Midnight. I don't think I'm entirely against the fact that the Midnight creature is in this, but I think when it gets so fixated on trying to make it like, look, you know, it's almost as if it's facing midnight or the clocks, whatever the line 15 says. It's like, like I don't really give a shit. Just give me a good. You don't need to link everything back to the past, man. Just give me a good sci-fi episode. But it is pretty good. There's some good shit in it. Is her name Rose Alice? Alice?
Alice, I
No,
think.
her actual name is Alice, but I think the actor's name is Rose. I'm not sure. The
Of course
actress,
it
sorry.
is.
She's pretty peak.
Yeah,
That's a
she's
funny
fucking
joke.
great.
She's pretty peak. The rest of the characters, unfortunately, a bit mid.
Yeah.
Apart from the general one is fine. So the lead woman
Yeah,
lady.
the lass who's like in charge.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Again, it's what we know about her is so shallow, but at least we have something. Again, it's just comparing this to the previous series because we never would have got shit like this.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I can't see you thinking it's really shit because I think it does have some really good stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't think it's shit. Not at all. I think it is. For me, it's probably on par or similar to Lux, but for me, they're both like 7s. For me, The Well is sort of like, it's good, but also, why did you make this? We didn't need a sequel to Midnight. The episode, I know it was,
No.
it was leaked, wasn't it? That it was like a Midnight sequel.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was leaked because I've been off everything. So to me, it was like a surprise, and I was like, holy shit, they're doing it. Don't fuck it up. And I was like, I mean, they didn't fuck it up, but also it's like...
That's what I mean, they didn't.
Yeah, but it's also sort of like...
You didn't need to exist.
Yeah, it's like, what was the point in making it a Midnight sequel? But then also, the way the episode is written is so similar that it would just be derivative shit if it wasn't directly linked to Midnight, but also at that point...
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be complaining, or I'd see a lot of people complaining, like, if it wasn't a Midnight sequel, you'd be like, oh, why is it so similar then? There's so many, like, stuff that it's very similar structure. Not even just, like, the villain itself, but the structure's so similar. So I'm glad, I'm mixed, man, because I'm sort of glad they made it a Midnight sequel, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, just whack it an 8 out of 10 and move on, man.
It's like, it's in the weird position of, like, it is actually good, but also, why did you make it this way? But also,
I agree.
I think it goes to like the roundabout issue of this episode shouldn't really exist, but for what it is pretty good.
Yeah, spot on. That's the best way to describe it, really.
It's a strange one. I think I had a similar reaction when I first watched it, where I was sort of like, that was good, but what was the point in making it a Midnight sequel? I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a good episode, but also, it's so weird, man. It's weird.
Just like this one.
I don't know what you think of this episode. I think Lucky Day is fucking dog shit.
Ooh, well, I think it might. Funny enough, I think it's probably the 3rd best episode of this series.
Oh fuck.
I can't actually remember it. Oh no, I like Lucky Day. It's not amazing, but I think it's yeah.
For me, to be like, I was saying, I think it's fucking dog shit. I think there is some good things in it, but I think it was at this point where it's like, oh, we're running into the 8 episodes of series issue again of like, nothing in this story is fleshed out enough, and nothing about Conrad Clark makes any sense whatsoever.
There's a lot of inconsistencies. I don't know, man.
It's like the way his character exists is so like, just nonsense. It's like, alright, so he's well known for this podcast where he's like just sort of a normal dude. Like just a bit of a chill guy, bit of a nerd, but like, he's just a chill guy. But then also he's very famous and very known within this like weird incel community who hate UNIT. But he doesn't actually hate UNIT, he just sort of wants to bring them down because they rejected him a job. But then also it's like, how the fuck did no one at UNIT or Ruby do a background check on him before Ruby agreed to go on his public podcast to talk about the Doctor? Which also, I don't believe that she would do that, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually remember thinking that when the episode opened. I remember thinking, why is she actually here in the first place? Why would she? I don't even think any companion would really. What's the point? Honestly, for some reason, my mind is completely blanked on this episode. But I do remember watching it and liking it twice. I genuinely can't remember why. I think Kate might be pretty good in it, which is what made me think, okay, this is actually, because Kate is pretty good in this one for the first time. It actually makes me think, okay, so you could actually do something interesting with her. It's very basic, stuff, but it's there, and I'm hoping that the reason it's basic is because it'll be touched upon in the spin-off.
The spin-off?
The unit spin-off.
Oh! I fucking forgot about that. I thought you meant the CBB show, and I was like, why would Kate be in that?
No. Yeah, Kate's gonna be in that.
I was like, why?
Continuation of Lucky Day.
I was like, why the fuck would Kate be in the CBB show? Never mind. Never mind. No, I agree.
You know why? She'd be recruiting the next unit members for unit.
She rocks up
All
on
the
the
kids.
fucking like the nighttime story thing. Was like, now, that is the end of the story.
Unit could do with
Would
some-
any of you like a job?
Unit could do with someone like you.
It's like a
Anyway,
toddler.
I'm surprised you didn't go to the space baby thing. Anyway, you can put this wherever you want because I don't have any attachment to it. I just think I think I was quite passionate with it at the start when I first watched it. I remember defending it quite a bit, but now that I'm so sick and tired of Series 15, I don't really give a shit. It's just there. Just put it wherever you want, mate.
You now know how it felt when Empire of Death came out, and you're just like, man, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit anymore.
That's fine, as long as you didn't put it in the bottom tier.
Nah.
Okay. I was holding me nerve there. That's fine. That's a good spot. Keep it there.
I don't
For our
think.
standards.
I think
It's
the
fine.
only things that really are here sort of deserve to be. I personally wouldn't have put Joy to the World this low, but also I would need to rewatch it because if I rewatched it and reviewed it, I could potentially agree with
I think
that.
you just respect the fact that I never rage.
No,
about the
yeah,
series.
I
This
respect
is
to
one
crash out.
episode That's making me fuming. You're just thinking, why Joy to the World of all episodes? Like Empire of Death from there, like I couldn't care less. Joy to the World, fucking abysmal. Get it off my screen.
It was the first crash out I've ever witnessed from you, so I was like, yo, I'm just gonna let him have it.
I'm not even gonna say him and just let him stick it there. I might crash out with this one though.
Let him kook. Wait, you crash out on story in the engine?
Potentially.
Interesting.
Everyone on Twitter sucks this off, but I think it's a bit shit.
I also think it's a bit shit. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't paying enough attention to it when I watched it to sort of be like...
Mate, even if you wouldn't watch, you wouldn't understand a thing that happened. It is actually dog shit when I think about it even more. Oh my god.
From what
actually,
I remember...
this is really shit.
It was like, this place that the Doctor normally goes, coincidentally, is where the Vindicator needs to be. He goes in the barber shop and there's like these two alien fuckers, one of which is from the... I remember the Fugitive cameo because it pissed us off. Because I was like, this is fucking stupid. Can we stop trying to make the Fugitive Doctor a thing? Like, no hate to Jo Martin, because you know she'd be goated as fuck if she was actually just cast as a normal Doctor and not fucking...
Cameo Doctor.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, because I'm like, you are wasting a goated talent because Chibnall was desperate for viewership, and we shouldn't be like... If you're trying to do something with her, then fucking commit. Don't just, like, contradict the
Show
already
away from it,
contradictory introduction for some fucking hog shit and a random, like, oh my god, I know who that is. Like, fuck off, man. That annoyed us. I remember that pissing us off. But, besides that, like, I remember the plot was sort of like, oh, they tell stories to power up the engine that was like a big spider thing, and it would show them in the window.
Yeah.
And the ending was kind of just, I am the Doctor and I am cool, like every Moffat story ending ever. And just the thing blew
Yeah.
up.
That was literally it.
Yeah,
But
it was pretty shit.
That's my point. There's so much fat and there's so many characters, and I couldn't give a crap about any of them. Belinda is in the TARDIS.
Oh yeah, this is like another one where she's just not fucking there.
Yeah, she's in the. This is where it started for me. 'Cause she was in the TARDIS for this is. I think this is actually what pissed me off the most in the entire thing. Because I love her so much. I've grown to love her so much, and she's in the TARDIS for 20 minutes. Literally, I think it's literally 15-20 minutes. And the TARDIS just whenever it cuts back to her, and she keeps like trying to pull levers or something or whatever
Yeah.
for whatever reason, and it keeps like siren in red. It's 15-20 minutes, and I'm just sat there thinking, why isn't she gone outside? The Belinda I know would, I know it sounds stupid, the Belinda I watched would have gone to those doors and ran straight out there to find him. It took,
No, I know exactly what you
pretty
mean.
sure, oh, the TARDIS showed the barber shop, and that's when she knew where to go. But to me, from the Belinda I watched, she, as soon as that first red sign would have gone off, she would have ran straight out of there and tried to find him.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I got nothing. She was just there and just thought, okay, there's red lights. I'm just going to stand there for 20 minutes
Yeah.
and just pull a lever whenever the camera pans back to me. That's basically what happened. And the middle bit with being in the barbershop, and it's just a big drag. It's boring. It's one of those where I feel like I should understand why people like it, but I really don't, because it doesn't do anything like at all.
One point that neither of us have touched on, which I do actually remember really liking about the episode, I've forgotten his name, but the dude who writes this episode, I fucking love the way that he writes the 15th Doctor.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on that.
But besides that, there wasn't much to I wasn't really engaged. Like, I remember I sort of gave... If you can't tell, I've sort of given up on my Instagram account. Like, I don't really give a shit about it. And I just started, like, recording myself after watching the episode. I don't even think I did that for this one, because I wasn't paying attention, because I was kind of just, like... I was just kind of bored. I was like...
It's boring.
Yeah. I was like...
boring.
I like the way the Shooty's written, but... The villain performance was also quite good, but also, I just didn't find... their motivations to be very interesting.
It was just a lot of mumble jumble in terms of it. I think there was a lot of stuff that was trying to happen, and none of it clicked together very well, and it just ended up in a bit of an abysmal mess, which didn't translate well on screen either. When I watched this, I didn't like it. I think I gave it a 5. It might drop down more now. I think I even knew when I gave it a 5, like, this is gonna drop down. I'm not gonna like this in a few months, and I don't. I probably won't watch this for a very long time because I didn't like it, and I don't get any enjoyment from it, because I think the worst you can do for me when I'm watching a Doctor episode is make it boring, and this is boring, and it's as simple as that. I hate boring episodes.
Yeah.
Like, you can have shit episodes and you can have boring.
Boring's
At least the
worse.
shit ones you can watch them, like Love and Monsters, Space Babies. I can watch them. I couldn't watch this.
I would have to give this episode like a cheeky rewatch, because I really was not paying attention. I was not in. Why the fuck they put these episodes out at like 8 in the morning? So I was just watching it when I woke up. So I was like half asleep for most of the series anyway. So, but this one especially, I was like, man, I'm about to fall back asleep.
It's the worst one to watch so early in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I think I watched it like in the afternoon after work.
I probably woke up like 9ish or something and just watched it when I got up. I was not engaged enough to be paying attention. Did you say like 5?
I'll probably give it a 4 now.
Stick it in 4.
Oh, but bit to the right, please.
No, but one of them has Shooty Gatwa in. Goated Shooty Gatwa. That, you know how rare it is for the Doctor to be well written. We gotta let him have this.
This is my ranking. That'll be fucking dead bottom, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I didn't think it was that bad.
Just rewatch it, because nothing actually happens, and you just realise you've wasted 45 minutes. As I said, it's an episode where I feel like I've wasted my time watching it, and I don't like that feeling. Like, I got nothing with the Belinda. That really grieves me. Fair enough, the Doctor's well written, but if I wanted to watch an episode with the Doctor as well written, I'd just watch any other episode that actually had a good plot.
If I wanted to watch an episode where the Doctor was well written, I would not be watching anything from this era.
Interstellar Song Contest.
This is probably the most visceral reaction I've ever seen to an episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I know why. I was gonna add a but I don't really have one. I know why. I think I do.
That is really long story.
Yeah, I was just sort of thinking. I was like, oh no, fair enough. I don't think the way that people made it out, I don't think was. I don't know,
intentional.
Yeah, like, I don't think it was intentional.
The way I see it, it's just really messy writing. I think if anything, it's a criticism of how bad the writing is, because I think if you've made an episode where it's controversial like that, to me when I'm watching it, it's clear it wasn't supposed to be controversial. Like, it's not as if is it Juno Dawson? It's not as if Juno Dawson of all people has sat down and gone, oh, let me write an episode where I'm trying to be a little bit pro-Israel, or not pro-Israel. I don't know how to describe it in short words.
Yeah. It's a whole bag of worms.
Yeah, but it essentially is a bit. It's not pro-Israel. It's like
I don't
know how to describe it.
I wouldn't say that the episode is. I think it's the context of what surrounds it. It's like it's an episode that glazes.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, just spot on. The problem is, I don't think Juno wrote that with that intention to make a commentary on Israel and Palestine. I think she just wrote it with no context surrounding it.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a little bit messy in that sense, because if you're gonna tell a story the way you are, I mean, I don't know if I think the conflict would have been going on whilst this was happening. I feel like you've got to be aware of your surroundings, and I do feel like even without the context taken out of, take away Israel and Palestine for a second, pretend that never happened whilst this is happening, and I think it's still quite a shit message. Like the corporation got genocided, if that's a word, the planet to get the honey, and then obviously the ending is just the Doctor being like, okay, just sing a song about how sad you are. Song's beautiful, but it's also like the Doctor would go after the corporation that committed genocide on millions of people, and I think that's what I'm trying to make. They didn't write this episode saying, I'm going to write it with Israel and Palestine in mind. She just wrote it, but she wrote it really shit.
Yeah, I think when the show is so irresponsible with handling stuff like that. That's a good
word for it.
Especially
that is brilliant, irresponsible.
Yeah. Especially when this is an ongoing conflict still. It's like, Eurovision still, like, they still allow Israel to, perform, which is why it's sort of like, this is an episode in which the character of Doctor Who tortures a genocide survivor, doesn't stick up for them in any way, and also is an episode that is glazing Eurovision, which is doing something which is inherently fucked. It's like, I don't think it was intentional at all, but like it's very irresponsible, and I can understand why people hate it so much.
You make a commentary about how this corporation that sponsors Eurovision committed genocide on a planet, and you don't do anything, you just let it happen.
Yeah.
It's weird because Eurovision has always, and again, even when she would have been writing this, Eurovision's always been criticised for being too political and this and that, and you just let that happen and you don't do it. It just feels stupid.
Yeah.
It just feels dumb. You write that as a plot and you don't criticise Eurovision. And I know people are like, yeah, but this was shown before Eurovision, the BBC wouldn't have done that. Fair enough, but why would you make the episode then if you're just going to glaze the living shit out of it?
Yeah.
And if you are going to make the episode, don't write it like that. So don't write...
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to say don't write it because it's an important point to make and it needs to be discussed, but in a sense where, like, if you have to glaze Eurovision, don't add shady context to this version of Space Eurovision and then just don't address it or don't antagonize it. It's stupid, it's irresponsible, and I think unfortunately it taints the entire episode because there are some fun moments, there are moments that are fine. Fine, I mean, if I'm praising it by just being fine, it's a bit crap. For me, I watched it, I thought it was fine. I think it's fell off a bit. I think the more I think about it, the worse it gets.
Absolutely.
For me, it could happily go in that bottom tier because I feel like,
I think the irresponsibility of it for a show like Doctor Who as well, which is so like well-renowned, well, not anymore, but so well-renowned for like handling political commentary well and having very good insight on it, especially with a character like the Doctor, who is so like anti-violence, anti-genocide, but then having him like show no sympathy or empathy towards the people who actually suffered and survived that, and show like no intention of stopping the corporation that wiped out their world. It's like, fuck me,
it's
like
mad.
What are we doing? It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm not one to be political in any way whatsoever, as you know, but like, it's hard to not bring it up for an episode like this when it is so egregiously out of touch and just wrong, just so poorly handled, so poorly timed, and just like, man, come on. Oh yeah.
Just bottom tier it. It's it's essentially just a shame.
I'm gonna put it below Empire of Death.
I speak to casual people, they're like, oh, why are you watching Doctor Who? It's gone woke. And I'm like, you know what? It's not gone woke. It's the least woke it's ever been because it never actually tells stories that mean anything. It never tells me a story anymore that means anything in today's world. And it's a big shame because it always used to, but it's literally, the show isn't woke. And I'm not saying that in a sense where I'm like, oh, well, the Doctor should always be a white British male and we should always have traditional stories, we should never come. No, I love politics in Doctor Who. I want politics on Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The problem with Doctor Who now is that it doesn't actually do politics well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying that even in the sense where I'm like, I don't want to, it sounds like I'm trying to be like, where everyone's saying, oh, politics, it's too on the nose now, it's too on the nose. No, it's always been on the nose. To me, it's not even on the nose enough. Like, that scene in Interstellar Song Contest, it just felt so subtle with them singing. I'm just like, Doctor, you should be making a speech here about how shit this corporation is. You should be doing something about it, and the show isn't. The show is not woke.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's mad to me how people call it woke. That's just a little rant for me, but...
No, that's completely fair enough. Well, because the thing that Doctor Who always did, which was why its politics were so well handled, is that it was always sticking up for the little guy. And it's like, it's doing the opposite in this situation, where it's like, it's almost sticking up and justifying the fucked up shit, and it's like, no, that's like the opposite of the point.
Yeah, it's not just this era, it was the same in Kablam. It's just something where it's mad, because it makes, I feel like turning on to those people on Twitter, it's like, I wish we could have like young fresh blood in this show that could do something about it, because
I've felt like that for
feels
a while.
It feels like I'm watching boomers write this show and they have no clue what it is, what's going on in this world anymore. But
well, that's the thing. I forgot to bring it up before, but one thing about Joy to the World that pissed us off when it came out was like, the political commentary in that episode was criticizing the fucking COVID parties. It's like, that was 5 fucking years ago. Like, what? You're not doing anything brave or daring or biting or interesting by bringing that up. You're just dragging up a dead issue that the entire country has already criticized. Like, what do you mean?
It was surface level as well.
Yeah, it was so surface level. It was just like, and they were having those parties and my mom was dying. I'm like, what the fuck? What does this have to do with anything? It was 2024 at the time. It's like, bro, man, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
Wish World, come on, let's get this over and done with.
Right, Wish World, fucking...
See how much this series just fell off. We had 3 episodes at the start where we were like, okay, like, look at that, looks the Robot Revolution. And I'll tell you what the problem is, the key to having good episodes is you have leads that feel like leads, and that feels really bad actually saying that about 15 Shooty, because he's actually quite good, but they feel like characters, they feel fleshed out, they feel like real people. Now they don't. Now we've just hit 2 episodes that are just ultimate content generation, and
yeah, literally
these episodes sum up what I don't like about this era. And it's funny because you can watch other videos on this channel that's going on and I'll be defending this era, and I still will. I don't think it's terrible. It's worse. It's better than Chibnall, sorry.
It is still better than Chibnall's era, 100%.
And I think it's probably better than some seasons in Moffat's era, but...
I'd have some of them.
Series 7 and 9, I think.
I'd say Series 15 is better than some of Moffat's series. Series 14, I honestly do think is worse.
I think Series 14 is better than 15 because these 2 episodes I really hate.
Yeah.
It just sums up where the show is going wrong. We don't need content generation that leads to nothing. And the thing is, the sad thing is, I remember to say this point on this. Russell's right. The content generation do bits on TikTok and Twitter. He's not actually wrong. They get hundreds of thousands of views. But the problem is, they won't go and watch the show. They'll watch this clip of the Dr. Boy generating and go, that's what this show's like. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not going to watch the rest of it, though, because
it looks shit.
It's a 15-second video you see on TikTok and you scroll past it. It doesn't do anything.
Nah.
You have to be engaged in this era, and these episodes literally sum that up. You've got Wish World, which just edges you the whole time with nothing. Like, you're getting edged with nothing. Nothing happens. It's literally like Legendary, nothing happens. You're just watching this alternate reality where it's very surface level commentary again, but there's some good little bits. Like when it does it well, and it does piss me off a bit because I wish if you got rid of the finale stuff in Wishful, it could be a good episode. Like the moments with 15 and he comments about Ibrahim being good looking or something. Like that scene's pretty good. Like those scenes are good.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene fucking took me out the first time I watched it. I don't know why. I know it was meant to be played seriously, but I thought it was so funny.
I think it's the music.
It is. It's the music. It's the music and the way he turns around and there's just like a Inception thud. He's like, "How can you find another man attractive? You are a man." And I was in fucking pieces. I was like, "Oh my god." This is so
the concept works, and I wish they did that for the whole episode. But this is just Conrad's wish. But then Conrad does fuck all in these 2 episodes.
Yeah, he doesn't fucking do
which
anything.
Is underwhelming.
I can't believe a big bad of Series 15 is just like an incel dude who gets a happy ending and Belinda doesn't.
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually thought Conrad had potential, and I didn't mind him, and I thought he could be pretty good. But he just stands in that room. He's an incel, fair enough, he doesn't need much development, but Ruby just gives him a better life and forgives him, and I suppose that's a testament to who Ruby is, where she's kind of just like, you can say it's a negative of the way she's written, but to me, I just see Ruby as a character. She's just like, she doesn't really give a shit about anything, she's just like...
She has no, like, drive. She has no motivation. Yeah. She's very much just an entity for plot.
So I wasn't shocked that Ruby did that. Like if Donna did that, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Donna?" Yeah. But because Ruby did it, I was like, "Yeah, that seems like something Ruby would actually do." To be fair, just let him live his life better. But yeah, Conrad wasted the Ranis. What the fuck happened here? Then Mrs. Flood was the biggest waste of time of my life. You built up 2 years for her to just get sidekicked, and then she doesn't even do anything as a sidekick. I thought it was going to be obvious that she was going to turn on the Rani, and it was going to be like she was going to do a Missy and turn good, but not even that happened. I'd have rather that happened because it felt like it was leading up to it, but she just the Rani got eaten and she just went, "Oh, I think I'll be off now then," and just teleports away. Like, what is this? Like, what is going on? Omega looked like Zombie from Plants vs Zombies. Like, it didn't work, and then what the hell? Omega's head just poked out of that tomb and just said, yeah. It's so funny because I saw a tweet and it was like, he basically popped out and said, "I want to eat Time Lords." And the doctor said, "What are your motives, Omega?" "I want to eat Time Lords." He just eats the Rani and then just gets shot back into the thing. It's so funny. That's literally what happens. He literally pops out and says, "I want to eat Time Lords." The doctor's like, "What do you want to do?" "Eat Time Lords. I'll have the Rani. See you later." So funny.
Fucking
it's a bit
stupid, man.
Abysmal. I can't even think what else is really shit about this 2-part.
There's so much. There's so much wrong with it.
Tonally, the reshoots don't help because the episode just tonally shifts as soon as the Doctor shoots Omega back into the vault, and then he's just like, "Oh fuck, I've got to regenerate now because I've got to save Poppy."
You know, I didn't know it was reshot, but that makes so much more sense because I was like, "There's no fucking." I could have guessed the regeneration was shot, considering like, I mean, I don't know if it was known or not. I had no idea that Shooty was gonna leave. I was so fucking disappointed watching that. I was like, actually mortified. I was like, "Oh my god, he's going already." Like, we're just getting started. And then when fucking Billy Piper showed up, that was the exact moment where I was like, this is the first time since, like, watching Series 7 where I'm actually considering stopping watching Doctor Who. At least until the current creative team is gone. Because Russell clearly, I hate to just rag the man, because a lot of the ragging on him is a bit unfair, but the man clearly can't move on. He needs to fucking move on. It is not 2008 anymore. Do something new. He was brought back as a steady hand. He wasn't brought back because, like, oh, we want it to be 2008 again. He was brought back because, no, we want it to be good. But he hasn't done that. He's just trying to rely on the past over and over and over, and it's just, like, I'm so sick. It's so shameless. When I was sat in the cinema and those fucking stupid, brainless sheep started clapping when Billy Piper showed up. Bro, I literally was
just
like,
sobbing.
I turned to my best mate, I turned to Sam, and I was like, Sam, why are these fucking dorks clapping, man? Like, there is nothing to be happy about this shit. And the thing is, right, they don't even have the balls to be like, oh, introducing Billy Piper as the Doctor, because it's, even if it's not going to be, it's like, you know what you were fucking doing. Like, shut up. It's so shameless. Bringing David Tennant and Catherine Tate back, at least they made a fucking narrative to make it make sense.
This doesn't.
This
I
doesn't.
think, as far as I'm aware, it was a done casting and aware. Shooty told him he was going to leave, they reshot it, and adding Billy was very last minute, and I think
You can tell.
Russell, I think the leaker said this. There was this one leaker that got everything right about the series, and he said this. Obviously, he's good friends with Billy, so he just phoned a good friend and knew it would bring shock and generate content. Unfortunately, I don't think Russell did it out to be a prick.
I don't think he did it to be a prick. I think he just did it because he genuinely doesn't know what else to do anymore, other than just rely on.
He had no clue.
All reliable,
panicked and thought, he thought, I've got no clue. I need to make people talk about this, and he just clicked the panic button. I think an open regeneration would have been much better. If you're honesty. It's gonna sound mad, but Russell has got good contacts. He's got good friends. If he'd have put someone else controversial as the Doctor in that scene, I think it would have been better. So someone that hasn't been on the show, like, is it Tina Miller or Lydia West? Someone he's worked with, quite a big actor. Just throw them in the role and just see what happens. If the show's renewed, go ahead with it.
If he had balls, he would have done John
Barrowman. It still would have generated your content. Yeah, it still would have generated your content because your Doctor's regenerated.
Yeah.
That's always going to give you YouTube views, but that's the way I see it.
The thing is, all the attention I've seen the show getting from this was negative. I have not seen any positive reception from this other than, like, the fucking normies who I was sat in the cinema with. Like, I haven't seen anyone happy about this. Everyone who I've talked to about this in real life has said they're gonna stop watching until the current creative team leaves, or they're gonna very begrudgingly watch just because they've watched it for so long.
It just reeks of nostalgia bait, and that's what people think.
That's just what I'm fucking sick of. I'm like, they've done enough of it this era, like, 60th aside, because there at least was a narrative reason, even though the narrative ended up not fucking mattering, because he didn't follow through with it with the 15th Doctor. There was narrative for the 14th Doctor's existence and arc and all that shit, even though it was, like, a bit short and a bit butchered at some points. But then it's like, we're rehashing Rose, we're rehashing the end of the world, we're rehashing the empty child, we're rehashing fucking Midnight directly, very lazily. We're trying our absolute damnness to rehash Journey's End. And it's like, man, fucking just move on. I don't have any interest in watching what Russell has to offer anymore, because even despite the very few glimpses, I just don't think he's got it in him anymore, to be honest. But when it comes to writing the show, the creative control should not all fall within one man. And that's been a problem since 2010. It is a lot of work for one person. When you hear the stories of how the first era of Doctor Who was put together, like the first era of New Who, it was fucking insane. Like, the man was just chain-smoking cigarettes, going insane for like 4 fucking years. But he had, like, the time to plan it a bit more. And he had people around him who were at least more willing to say no. The problem is, at the minute, he's just surrounded by yes men who's convinced he's a genius. The man clearly is very intelligent, and he still clearly can write well, but he needs to have, like, a group of people who are willing to just tell him, like, this is shit. He needs to stop being surrounded by yes men, essentially.
If you get rid of the generate content stuff, which is essentially to me, it feels like that is what's at the core of the series. You're just trying to make moments for TikTok. If you get rid of that, you could do something. If you just go back to focusing on characters and nitty-gritty drama, you'll be fine. And I think that's what we all thought he was going to do when he came back. We thought we were just going to go back to basics.
Well, that's what he did with the 60th, which is why the 60th still stands pretty well.
Yeah, it literally was back to... There was so many moments in the 60th that we just have in the TARDIS, or like that little one in the Giggle where they're in the Toymaker's domain and they're running around after all those doors. Like, they have a moment, and you don't get that anymore.
Yeah, it's like, at the forefront of Doctor Who, forever and always, is like, the characters is what brings you back repeatedly. Because it's like, good characters can carry a shit episode, bad characters can't. And it's like, Russell's era, even in like some of the dog shit stories, the character writing was so good. that, like, the bad episodes are so much less egregious because there's always something to be attached to. There's always something, but now it's like, when the show is just slop, and it's just desperately trying to get viewers, and there's no compelling characters by the end of the series, and it's like, we've seen this shit before. The show needs to just, like, grow up and move on, which it's very unwilling to do and has shown repeatedly over, like, probably since Series 12. The show's just, like, unwillingness to change and grow. It's just...
On that note...
on that note of, like...
in the bottom tier,
absolutely. Fuck this shit. Where would I put Wishworld? Where would I put the Reality War? Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do, as long as it's below Empire of Death.
It's where it fucking belongs, and I hate Empire of Death with, like, my entire being.
That's fine. We can move on from that. I'm exhausted now. I've ranted too much about that.
Yeah. That was our together tier list of the 15th Doctor's era. I will put each of our tier lists on the screen now so you can see what we would do personally to see where we differ. That is all from us today. Thank you, Tweetman, for joining me on the main channel. Holy shit.
Oh my god, am I on the main channel today?
Yeah.
God, I've upgraded. Well, it's been an honour then. Bloody hell. Follow me at, shit. DW Tweets, yes. God, I don't know what I forgot then.
Follow me at shit.
Don't follow Wild Blue Weg.
Don't do that.
Don't follow Doctor front page. That's just a test to see if they actually watch this.
But thank you all very much for watching. I know this has been a bit of a different video for the main channel, just trying something new. Ollie suggested this idea, it was like a week or so ago, and I just thought, you know what? I ain't fucking doing Series 15 for a minute, so we might as well get something out so people at least know the score.
Solid thoughts.
Solid thoughts. This is also weird as fuck because this is a main channel video and I'm not in character, so it's like, whoa.
You can say an angry goodbye.
I don't want to be honest. I can't be bothered.
Alright, just see you later then, guys. Cheers.
In a bit, guys. Peace.
Oh, that's cringe.
Yeah, that was awful. Fuck. Ooh.
Yeah, put that bit out.
Yeah, fuck that.